Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Bleachers to Speakers. I'm one of the co-hosts, B. Foster, and we got a 53-man roster. The heavily discussed 53-man roster has been cut down. I wanted to give you a quick update. I'm headed to the Tigers game in a little bit, so I don't want to we're going to talk about it in more detail on the show tomorrow and shows moving forward. But let's see what we got here. I got the screen shared. I'm not going to go through every name individually. I'm just going to give some of the, if there's any notable topics to talk about, we'll get to those. And yeah, obviously we got some people listening via audio, so I want to get the major ones. But we knew what Nate Sudfeld got cut today. So the two quarterbacks on the main roster right now are Goff and Hooker, of course. The four main running backs, we all know what those are going to be: Montgomery, Gibbs, Vaki, and Reynolds. The controversial four wide receivers, we only went with four. So Jamo, Amon-Ra, Khalif Raymond, and Isaiah Williams gets that last spot. It also gets interesting at tight end. Laporta and Brock Wright, and then Parker Hess. So James Mitchell is out. Shane Zylstra is out, and everybody else. Offensive line, pretty self-explanatory. Sewell, Decker, Ragnow, Glasgow. As far as the reserve, we got Skipper, Sorsdale, Manu, Awasika, and Nice. Defensive line. Wow. So I was really hoping that Ukwu would make the final cut. Maybe he will be on the practice squad, but we got Hutch, McNeil, Reeder, Anzarike, Kyle Pico, which I would not have guessed. Davenport, of course, Pascal Wingo, Kaminsky, who of course is on the injured list, and James Houston makes it. As far as linebackers, pretty self-explanatory. Anzalone, Barnes, Campbell, Reese Mayman, Ben Neiman is the guy. I don't believe he was on the team last year. Obviously, Rodrigo on the team. Defensive backs: Terry Arnold, Davis, Rackstraw, Robertson, Bildor. The notable cornerback that got cut was Gilmore. But Dorsey, Branch, Joseph, Iffy, Brandon Joseph, and then Loren Strickland, who I'm not really very familiar with. So yeah, you know the punters are Fox Bates and Hogan Haddon is the new long snapper. We got Mosley and Broderick Martin is on the injured reserve. I did not know that. And a non-football injury, Mahogany. So the notable cuts that we can talk about: Doris Fountain, Tom Kennedy, who's normally on the practice squad, Donovan Peoples-Jones, who just didn't perform very well, Nate Sudfeld, Maurice Alexander, who had a pretty solid camp, Beauplan, Betts, Calhoun. So, Caden Davis, who had a pretty solid camp, Bam Knight, James Mitchell, as I said, Isaac Ukwu. That was the big one for me. Shane Zylstra. So yeah. So eight of those guys that were cut, if they clear waivers, will be on the practice squad. So hopefully some of those notable guys that I thought might make the team, such as a Gilmore, Caden Davis, some of those receivers, Caden Davis, maybe Nate Sudfeld, CJ Moore. He's a good special teams guy. Ukwu, maybe a Matthew Betts, guys like that. Maurice Alexander as well. I'm just kind of rambling here, but yeah, we have a 53-man roster. James Houston makes the cut. Isaiah Williams makes the cut. Those are two guys that were on the bubble. Isaiah Williams was an undrafted free agent this year. He wasn't even probably in consideration to make the team, but he has made the cut and he deserves it. He played well, punt returns, as a receiver, but we will see how things shake out. Obviously, cuts have been made by a whole bunch of other teams, and there's big receivers that we might look into. and I don't know how things shake out beyond that, but yeah, not a lot of not a lot of you know big you know big deals out here. I didn't see Jake Fromm. Is Jake Fromm on here? Yeah, Jake Fromm's on here. He was waived. So there's a difference between waived and released. So I think wave means that they could possibly come back. Yeah, Jamar Jefferson's another guy. Jake Funk had a good last game. So I think there's a distinct difference between wave and cut, and it looks like the wave guys are more so on the borderline of ending up on a practice squad, but you're not looking at a guy that's super well versed in this type of vernacular. So um, we'll continue to keep you updated on the roster updates because I think there'll still be some more with other guys being traded, being released, waive, whatever. Obviously, the Lions are way down on the waiver wire list, so we get the last of the last because we were such a good team last year. So subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers for all visual content, and subscribe to Bleacher Speakers as well on all the audio aggregators. It's your boy Foster Child. I'm out.